As The Bold and the Beautiful races into the emotionally charged week of July 14th to 18th, one of the most shocking twists may come from an unexpected place. Leigh Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, a character long known for her fierce loyalty to her family and her equally fierce secrets. If past behavior is any indicator, viewers should brace for the possibility that Leigh is hiding something huge and possibly horrifying. Longtime fans will never forget when Leigh stunned audiences by revealing that she had secretly kept her son, John Finn Finnegan, Tanner Novlin, alive after he was presumed dead. Instead of alerting his loved ones, or even his wife Steffi, Leigh smuggled Finn away and nursed him back to health in total secrecy. Her reasoning? She didn't trust anyone else to protect him. That single decision fractured relationships, but it also proved Leigh's willingness to go to extreme lengths to preserve life. Now it seems history may be repeating itself, with the stunning possibility that Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, has died in surgery, only for spoilers to suggest she might return this September. Fans are theorizing that Leigh has pulled the same trick again. Could she have smuggled Luna out of the hospital and hidden her away to recover, just like she did with Finn? The clues are subtle, but they're there. Leaked set information suggests Luna will appear again in the fall. Yet her apparent death this week devastates everyone, particularly Finn, who recently discovered Luna may be his biological daughter. If Luna is truly gone, her death would rip a second hole in Finn's heart, just as he was beginning to accept his new family connections. But if Leigh has intervened behind the scenes, then perhaps Luna's death is only an illusion, a painful lie crafted to give her time to heal. But why would Leigh do this? Some fans argue that it may be an act of mercy, a second chance at protecting the family, just like she did for Finn. But others suggest something darker. Could Leigh be seeking control over Luna? Could she be punishing Poppy, Rami Park, by keeping Luna from her, just as she believes Poppy once did to her? Could this be a mother's vendetta disguised as maternal care? What's more, Leigh's relationship with Luna has always been complex. She has frequently criticized Luna's behavior and blamed Poppy for not raising her properly. If Luna spiraled into instability before the surgery, as some scenes hinted, Leigh may have felt justified in taking matters into her own hands. But if she is once again deciding who deserves to know the truth, she could risk destroying what little trust remains in the Finnegan-Nozawa family. This potential twist brings up the question, what is the line between protection and manipulation? Leigh once justified her actions with Finn by saying she was saving his life, but at what cost? Steffi's pain, Sheila's fury, and Finn's trauma all resulted from being denied the truth. Is Luna now fated to experience the same fate, being rescued without consent, her life written off, her freedom taken? Perhaps the most heart-wrenching element in the storyline is what it could mean for Finn. If he believes his daughter is gone forever, he will undoubtedly spiral into grief and blame. He may lash out at Poppy, question his past decisions, and even withdraw from those who love him. And all the while, if Leigh is secretly hiding Luna somewhere, Finn's pain will be for nothing, a cruel byproduct of one woman's warped sense of justice. As the week unfolds, viewers should watch for increasingly suspicious behavior from Leigh. Does she visit a mysterious location? Does she make cryptic phone calls? Does she try to redirect questions or manipulate hospital records? If so, the truth about Luna's fate may be closer and more twisted than anyone suspects. For a moment, everything stopped. The heart monitors fell silent. The surgeons exchanged dark glances, the screen faded to black. Luna Nozawa's apparent death during a high-risk surgery sent shockwaves through The Bold and the Beautiful universe, not only among the characters but through the fan community as well. But seasoned viewers know better. In the world of B&B, no one is ever truly gone, and death is often a carefully staged illusion. That's exactly why speculation surrounding Luna's fate is intensifying with each passing episode. According to reliable leaks and insider reports, Luna is set to reappear on-screen in September, prompting questions that can no longer be ignored. Did Luna really die? Or is she the latest pawn in a deeper scheme, one that mirrors Finn's miraculous resurrection from the dead? There are compelling reasons to believe that Leigh Finnegan might once again be the orchestrator of a hidden survival. Her history of smuggling Finn away to heal, against all protocols and moral boundaries, suggests she could repeat such actions, especially if she believes Luna was in danger or beyond help under current medical supervision. Leigh's disdain for Poppy Nozawa and her recent interactions with Luna indicate an increasingly tense dynamic, one built on control, resentment, and unspoken secrets. Imagine this. Luna is unconscious but alive, kept hidden in a remote facility, perhaps even in the same secret location where Finn once recovered. She may be hooked up to life support, her recovery uncertain but possible. All the while, her loved ones, Finn, Poppy, even RJ, are left grieving, unaware that Luna's story isn't over, but merely paused. This chilling possibility opens the door to a rich narrative arc, a reawakening in every sense. When Luna eventually returns, will she be the same person? Physical trauma, memory loss, emotional instability, all could play a part in reshaping her character. What if Luna wakes up disoriented, unsure of who to trust, and begins to question her own past? Could her long-lost memories reveal an even deeper truth, perhaps something about her father, her relationship with Finn, or a betrayal yet to be revealed? Let's not forget Luna's increasing inner turmoil prior to the surgery. She had been spiraling, overwhelmed by family drama, her uncertain lineage, and the emotional chaos surrounding Poppy and Finn. Was her medical emergency a result of all that pressure? Or was it something more sinister, a condition brought on or worsened by neglect, deception, or even foul play? This theory gains weight when considering Poppy's evasive behavior. For weeks, she has danced around questions about Luna's father, her decisions, and her past. If Lee discovered a deeper truth about Luna's origin, she may be choosing to hide Luna, not only for medical recovery, but to withhold revelations that could destroy lives. The emotional stakes for Finn are also enormous. As he grieves what he believes is the loss of his daughter, he may begin to experience flashbacks or emotional hallucinations, scenes that suggest Luna is still reaching out to him somehow. In a powerful soap twist, these visions may serve as the emotional bridge between reality and the unseen truth. And when the moment of revelation comes, and he learns that Luna is alive, the betrayal will be staggering. How will Finn react if he discovers his own mother kept his daughter from him, again? Will he cut ties with Lee once and for all? Will Luna resent being hidden like a secret? Or will she be grateful for a second chance at life? Meanwhile, audiences are being kept in suspense. With cryptic shots, vague dialogue, and carefully chosen camera angles, the writers are clearly planting seeds for a twist no one will forget. As the July episodes unfold, viewers should watch closely. Is there a locked hospital room no one enters? A medical chart that disappears? A nurse who refuses to answer questions? These subtle hints could be clues leading to the biggest resurrection of the year. In true bold and the beautiful fashion, Luna's story is far from over. It may just be beginning. At the heart of the bold and the beautiful, beyond the secrets and power plays, lies a story of enduring love. And this week, it's Hope Logan, Annika Noel, who takes center stage in one of the most emotional arcs in recent memory. As Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, lies unconscious following emergency surgery, Hope is left to confront the terrifying reality of losing him, perhaps forever. This isn't just a medical crisis, it's a reckoning. Hope has made many choices in recent months, some empowering, some painful. Her complicated relationships with Thomas, her inability to commit fully to Liam after his betrayal, her inner conflict about motherhood, loyalty, and personal happiness have all led to this point. And now, as Liam hovers between life and death, all of those feelings come crashing down on her with unbearable weight. Fans will witness Hope at her rawest, sitting quietly beside Liam's hospital bed, holding his hand, begging him not to leave her. This is not the confident, composed woman who once walked away from Liam in strength. This is a woman shattered by guilt, fear, and unresolved love. In one particularly poignant scene teased by the preview, Hope places Liam's hand on her heart and whispers, "You still live here, don't go." Whether he can hear her or not, the depth of emotion in her voice is enough to reduce any viewer to tears. Why is this moment so powerful? Because for the first time in a long time, Hope admits to herself and the world that she still loves Liam. All the hurt, all the betrayals, all the confusion, none of it matters now. What matters is that the man she once called the love of her life may never open his eyes again, and she's not ready to say goodbye. This emotional plea is further complicated by the presence of their daughter, Beth. Hope's scenes with Beth will no doubt tug at the heartstrings as she tries to explain that Daddy is very tired right now, and that they have to be strong. But inside, Hope is anything but strong. She's crumbling. What's most tragic is that this crisis could have been avoided. It's hinted that Liam's condition, possibly a tumor, may not be as serious as initially believed. Could it be that a misdiagnosis led to unnecessary surgery? Could Grace Buckingham, Cassandra Creech, the doctor involved, be hiding something? Is there more to this medical mystery than meets the eye? If so, Hope's anguish becomes even more painful to watch, because it would mean her suffering, her pleas, and Liam's coma could have all been prevented. But perhaps the bigger tragedy would be if Liam hears her and cannot respond. Or worse, if he wakes up and doesn't remember what she said. And yet, in true bold and the beautiful fashion, there is hope, even in despair. According to behind-the-scenes leaks, Liam is set to return to the screen in September, which means his condition may improve. But the emotional scars will linger. How will Hope and Liam move forward after this? Will this brush with death rekindle their romance? Or will it push Hope to realize she must finally let go and walk a new path? One thing is certain. Hope's tears, her prayers, and her desperate wish for one more chance with Liam will mark one of the most powerful performances of the summer. She may not be able to undo the past, but she's fighting for the future. One whispered plea at a time. For a man known for power, control, and wealth, Bill Spencer, Don Diamond, now faces something money can't fix: the fear of losing his son. As The Bold and the Beautiful progresses through one of its most emotionally intense weeks, Bill finds himself at a rare and painful crossroads, reckoning with the possibility that his choices, his pride, and perhaps even his neglect, may have led Liam to the brink of death. Viewers know Bill as the ruthless business mogul who's made enemies in every corner of Los Angeles. But behind the power suits and boardroom battles is a father who, like many, has made mistakes, sometimes colossal ones. Liam's current condition forces Bill to look back at their strained relationship with new eyes. And for the first time in years, Bill begins to question not just the choices he made, but the man he has become. In the upcoming episodes, audiences will witness a side of Bill rarely seen: vulnerable, raw, even broken. Standing at Liam's hospital bed, he's not a billionaire anymore. He's just a father, and he's terrified. Through flashbacks, we may revisit key moments between Bill and Liam, both good and bad. The heated arguments, the betrayals, the prideful clashes, and more importantly, the lost opportunities. Regret in this moment becomes a silent character in the room, loud in its absence and deafening in its presence. But the emotional stakes rise even higher with the involvement of Will Spencer, Crew Morrow. Long absent from the canvas, Will is rumored to reappear in response to his brother's condition. A now teenage Will could bring a fresh dynamic, and potentially a climactic confrontation with Bill. Imagine Will standing before his father, eyes burning, asking, "Were you there for Liam, or were you just too busy being Dollar Bill?" It's a question Bill may not be ready to answer. The tension between father and sons may also bring unexpected growth. With Liam's life hanging in the balance, Bill may finally drop the facade and admit to both his sons that he has made terrible mistakes, that he's failed them not through hatred, but through ego. And that, perhaps, he doesn't know how to fix it, but he wants to try. But redemption in the world of B&B doesn't come without resistance. Ridge, Steffi, even Hope may reject Bill's attempts to make things right. He's burned too many bridges. Yet if Liam wakes up and chooses forgiveness, it could be the key that opens the door for a renewed bond between father and son. Still, another possibility looms. What if Liam doesn't wake up, or wakes up changed? If brain trauma, emotional shutdown, or memory loss becomes part of Liam's new arc, Bill's window to make amends may close before it ever opens. The weight of that missed chance could crush even a man like Bill. On the other hand, if Liam recovers and accepts Bill back into his life, the two could form a stronger, wiser father-son bond. One built not on success, but on survival. They've both walked through the fire. Perhaps now they can rebuild from the ashes. Bill Spencer's story this week isn't about business. It's not about power. It's about a father facing the unthinkable and confronting the mirror for the first time in years. And what he sees might just change him forever. In the wake of Luna's apparent death, The Bold and the Beautiful shifts its emotional focus to one of the most volatile relationships in the story, that between Dr. John Finnegan, Tanner Novlin, and Poppy Nozawa, Rami Park. What begins as shared grief quickly turns into a minefield of blame, bitterness, and buried truths. This is no longer just a tragedy. It's a reckoning years in the making. For Finn, the pain is unbearable. Only recently had he begun to process the idea that Luna might be his biological daughter, a truth revealed too late. They never had the chance to build anything meaningful together, and now that chance has been stolen by fate. Or so he believes. Finn's sorrow quickly morphs into anger, and Poppy becomes the natural target. To him, she represents every what if and should have been of Luna's short life. What if Poppy had told him sooner? What if Luna had grown up with the stability of knowing her real father? What if Poppy hadn't hidden so much for so long? When they finally come face to face in an emotionally charged scene at the hospital, the atmosphere is electric. Finn's voice trembles as he asks the unthinkable, "Why did you keep her from me?" Poppy, visibly shaken, tries to defend herself. She reminds Finn that she had no proof he was the father, that their time together was brief, that she was trying to protect Luna from more instability. But every excuse only deepens the wound. The audience will witness a raw, almost primal confrontation. Two parents on opposite sides of grief, each clinging to the belief that they were doing what was best, yet both feeling utterly powerless. What makes this confrontation even more heartbreaking is that both Finn and Poppy are right, and both are wrong. Finn has every reason to feel robbed. He wanted to know Luna, to guide her, to be the father he never had. He sees Poppy's choices as a betrayal, not just to him, but to Luna. But Poppy's fear wasn't without cause. Her life has been unstable, often shaped by impulsive decisions and temporary relationships. She feared Luna would be judged, abandoned, or hurt. In some ways, she thought silence was safety. Now silence has become a curse. The grief also begins to fracture family alliances. Lee, already hostile toward Poppy, may fuel Finn's resentment. She blames Poppy for Luna's wild behavior and may now blame her for Luna's death. This paves the way for a dangerous dynamic in which Finn is encouraged to cut ties with Poppy entirely, just when she needs him most. But Poppy may not be so willing to absorb the blame. There are hints she may lash back, revealing that Finn has been idealizing a fantasy of fatherhood, one that never truly existed. She may remind him that he was absent not because he chose to be, but because he never knew. That his grief, while valid, doesn't give him the right to erase her pain or paint her as a villain. And then there's the possibility of a deeper secret, one that could twist the knife even further. What if Finn isn't actually Luna's father? What if Poppy reveals a truth she's been hiding to spare him more pain, or to protect herself? In true soap opera fashion, The Bold and the Beautiful may be setting up a paternity twist even more explosive than Luna's death. And if Luna is, in fact, still alive, as some believe, that revelation could become the ultimate plot detonator. Until then, the emotional debris between Finn and Poppy will only grow. Their confrontation will redefine not just their relationship, but the future of their entire extended family. As emotions boil over and old wounds are torn open, viewers are left with one pressing question. Can grief forge forgiveness? Or will it destroy whatever fragile bond was beginning to form? As The Bold and the Beautiful enters its most suspenseful stretch of the summer, another storyline begins to unravel quietly, and it could shake the foundations of everything viewers think they know. At the center of this emerging mystery is Dr. Grace Buckingham, Cassandra Creech, a woman with a calm demeanor but a storm of secrets lurking just beneath the surface. At first glance, Grace appears to be doing her job, helping oversee Liam Spencer's Scott Clifton recovery after a recent medical scare that led to emergency surgery and a subsequent coma. But something about the situation just doesn't add up. And longtime fans know that when inconsistencies start to appear in B&B's medical plots, it usually means something big is about to break. Early reports suggested that Liam was suffering from a tumor, possibly malignant, and that immediate surgery was necessary to save his life. The risks were high, the emotions were raw, and now in the wake of the operation, Liam lies unconscious and vulnerable. But behind the scenes, whispers are growing. What if the tumor diagnosis wasn't accurate? What if Liam's surgery was unnecessary? What if this entire crisis was preventable, or worse, manipulated? These questions lead directly to Dr. Grace Buckingham. Grace, a well-respected physician, is no stranger to controversy. Her history with her daughter Paris and her involvement in numerous ethically gray situations have already painted her as someone who is capable of operating in morally ambiguous territory. If she's hiding something about Liam's condition, whether by choice or under pressure, it could point to a cover-up of shocking proportions. Let's examine the signs. First, there's the timeline. Liam's symptoms appeared suddenly, progressed rapidly, and required immediate intervention. But viewers didn't see extensive testing, second opinions, or even consultations with Liam's family before the surgery was greenlit. That alone raises red flags. Second, Grace has been noticeably evasive when questioned about Liam's prognosis. Her answers are vague, filled with medical jargon, and lacking the clarity one would expect when a life hangs in the balance. Third, there's the strange disappearance of certain medical records. A plot point teased in upcoming spoilers. If Grace is tampering with files or withholding test results, it could mean that Liam's coma isn't the result of his illness, but of a mistake. Or worse, a decision. But why would she do it? One theory gaining traction among fans is that Grace is being blackmailed or influenced by someone more powerful, perhaps someone in Liam's orbit who benefits from his incapacitation. Could this tie back to past grudges, or to someone trying to manipulate Spencer family dynamics? Another possibility: Grace made a mistake, a misdiagnosis, a botched scan, a rushed decision, and now she's scrambling to control the damage before it destroys her career and Liam's future. Whatever the reason, the consequences are profound. If Liam's life was endangered unnecessarily, it could spark a domino effect, not just medically, but emotionally and legally. Bill Spencer would sue, Hope would explode, and Will, already reeling from the crisis, would be pulled deeper into the drama. There's also a more chilling option. What if Grace knows Liam is going to wake up, but not as the man they knew? Traumatic brain injury could alter Liam's personality, memory, or emotional regulation. If Grace is hiding the truth to ease the family into that reality, she may believe she's doing the right thing, while setting them up for even more pain. As fans wait for the next big reveal, the key lies in Grace's behavior. Watch her closely. Every hesitation, every diverted gaze, every convenient excuse. The truth is coming. And when it does, Liam's diagnosis may prove to be the tip of the iceberg. Because in The Bold and the Beautiful, a hospital bed is never just a bed, it's a battleground. As The Bold and the Beautiful builds toward its climactic summer finale, all signs point to a cascade of emotional returns, explosive secrets, and dramatic reckonings in the months ahead. August and September promise to reshape the very fabric of the show. And for fans who followed every twist and betrayal, the payoff is coming, slowly, chillingly, and brilliantly. First and foremost, Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, is coming back. Yes, the woman everyone believed to be dead, the daughter Finn never got to know, the spark between RJ and Zenda, the subject of fierce maternal battles, is not gone after all. According to multiple reliable set leaks and cast listings, Luna will be seen on screen again, starting in early September. But how? The most likely theory is that she has been hidden, protected, or possibly even imprisoned, emotionally or physically, by someone claiming to act in her best interest. The top suspect remains Lee Finnegan, who has a proven history of secretly caring for near-dead patients, just as she did for Finn. If Luna wakes up in an isolated location, unsure of what happened, it will launch a psychological and emotional arc that will consume the fall. But Luna's return isn't just about survival. It's about reclamation. She'll want answers, she'll want justice, and she may want revenge, especially if she discovers that Poppy lied to her about her paternity, or that RJ moved on with someone else, or worse, that Finn was told she had died and did nothing to find her. But Luna isn't the only one coming back. Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, currently in a coma, is also set to recover, but not without complications. Rumors suggest that Liam may wake up disoriented or partially amnesiac, setting up a slow-burn storyline in which he struggles to remember Hope's bedside pleas and the intensity of their past. If so, this may open the door for Steffi to re-enter his emotional life, just as Hope is ready to commit fully again. Or, in a more shocking twist, Hope may move on herself, perhaps with Thomas returning to the fold. Meanwhile, Bill Spencer may not get the happy family reunion he's hoping for. If Will returns only to see how Liam has suffered under Bill's neglectful eye, he may decide to cut ties with his father entirely. This would send Bill spiraling into a redemption arc, one that could take him to unexpected places, even back into the arms of Katie Logan, who may see his vulnerability as real change. But nothing is certain. Finn and Poppy's fragile alliance will also likely collapse under the pressure of Luna's resurrection. If it's revealed that Poppy lied about Finn being the father, or that she knew Luna was alive and said nothing, it could permanently sever the bond they were just beginning to rebuild. On the other hand, if Luna confirms Finn as her biological father, and the two reconnect, it could forge a new alliance, one that shuts Poppy out completely. Another loose thread? Grace Buckingham. If the truth about Liam's medical crisis comes to light, especially if it's proven to be the result of negligence or a cover-up, Grace may be fired, sued, or publicly disgraced. But Grace has connections, and some fans believe she's involved in something deeper, possibly tied to Luna's disappearance or even to Sheila Carter. Speaking of Sheila, the wild card remains on the table. Her last exit was far too quiet for a character of her caliber. Could she have a hand in Luna's vanishing? Could she be blackmailing Grace? Or, in true Sheila style, could she be waiting for the perfect moment to reappear and burn it all down? As fall approaches, viewers should expect a Luna-Finn reunion, painful, powerful, and possibly life-altering. Hope and Liam redefining their relationship post-coma, either in love or in heartbreak. Poppy's secrets finally catching up to her, leaving her isolated. Bill and Will navigating a painful father-son divide. RJ and Zende battling for Luna's affection, if she even wants either of them. Above all, expect the unexpected. The Bold and the Beautiful thrives on secrets being revealed at the worst possible moment, and September may just be the cruelest month of all. Because when the dead return, the living are never the same. As the week of July 14-18 reaches its emotional climax on The Bold and the Beautiful, fans are left standing in the wreckage of broken hearts, hidden truths, and near-death awakenings, knowing that everything has changed, even if the characters themselves don't realize it yet. What began as a simple hospital crisis has unraveled into a tapestry of lies, regrets, and second chances. Luna may not be dead, Liam may not be truly sick, and the people who claim to love them most, Lee, Poppy, Grace, Hope, and Bill, may all be guilty of making devastating decisions under the illusion of protection. But this is more than just another soapy twist. This week has laid the foundation for a new era on B&B, one driven not just by romance and betrayal, but by consequence. Lee's decision to play God, again, will haunt her no matter the outcome. Hope's vulnerability may not save Liam, but it might save herself. Finn's anger may blind him to the truth about Luna until it's too late. Poppy, always the wanderer, may finally be forced to stand still and face the cost of her chaos. And Grace, if her silence has endangered Liam, it could end more than just her career. What's remarkable is how these arcs are not isolated. They intersect, collide, and bleed into one another like storm fronts over the ocean. Every decision made in this week's episodes will echo through the rest of the summer and likely define the fall. And just beyond the horizon, shadows stir. Sheila's silence, Zenda's jealousy, Katie's possible return, Thomas's looming presence. The stage is set for explosive autumn reveals. In the end, The Bold and the Beautiful reminds us that no one truly dies in a soap. Not if there's love left to confess, revenge left to deliver, or one last secret to explode. So don't blink, don't look away, because the storm may pass, but in its place comes something even more powerful: the truth. Thank you for joining us on this emotional roller coaster through the week of July 14th, on The Bold and the Beautiful. The secrets, the sorrow, and the silent promises made at hospital bedsides are just the beginning. What do you think will happen when Luna returns? Will Hope and Liam finally reunite? Is Bill capable of true change? Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to like this post, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications for all the latest B&B previews, spoilers, and deep dive theories. Until next time, hello and goodbye.